chapter is happening right now, so let's do it. Hi guys, my name is Jimmy and welcome to the new part of the music chapter, which we finally started with very important artists to me. So we're gonna have two parts, I think at least. First part is this video, which is gonna be about the progress, how I got to know this artist, how this artist influenced me, and just the story in general. And second part is actually the time I've seen them live. So that's gonna be kind of like old vlog kind of memories of what I remember about that. So you're actually kind of wondering who I am talking about and who is this artist, what they are and everything. So actually this artist is a group and I think you already know where I'm going with this. So this artist was One Direction. So it all basically started with What Makes You Beautiful and Gotta Be You, about that time that these songs were released, and the boys were really like getting more famous. And my friends at school were like, go check them out, you need to go check out, they're just something different, they're so cool. And I was like, no, I don't want to, like, because something like this was happening with Justin Bieber, because he was so loved. Everybody's like, go check them out. And even not just my friend, it was my family, my cousin, she was like, I like them, you just need to. I was like, no, I don't want to, you know. I was just like, I'm hanging, I don't want to like be forced into it, so I didn't check that out. So it was around 2010, I would say, maybe 11, I'm not sure. Right now I'm not sure when What Makes You Beautiful Gotta Be You was released. I think it's 2011. I just, like, a couple years were by and they suddenly started to be very unpopular. Like I said, it was so like Justin, because everybody loved Justin at the beginning, you know, when Baby was released and everybody was Justin's fan. And suddenly he got so much hate, like everybody was just like hating in my school. He was just like, don't be like Justin, you're so Justin, you're so like this, like that. And it just like, it was so crazy how much hate he was getting. And it was basically happening the same thing with Wendy. So suddenly it was everybody hated them, everybody didn't like them, and blah blah blah, and something like that. And that was exactly around that time that I decided to give them a chance. So I went home and I've listened to What Makes You Beautiful and Gotta Be You, and I actually like those songs. I was kind of surprised by that. We at school, we were getting like a little bit offers that you can get books for cheaper price when you buy it through a school. And there were like a catalog and there were like options to get a 1D book, which I was like, okay, I don't really know anything about them. I don't know any music, anything like that. But I was always very interested in the stories of the celebrities and people like that. So I just decided, gonna do it. And that was the first time that I actually ordered a book from school, and I was there for 9 years. It was my last year and I decided, I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it and I've decided, so since I've bought the book, I'm gonna listen to them. And that was basically the little beginning of it. And something crazy also happened like a couple days after this day. Since I used to be a dancer, I was going for the practice, and my co-dancer, after the practice, she was like, I'm going to the cinema. And I was like, oh, that's cool, where are you going? And she was like, I'm going to see a 1D movie. I was like, what? There's a movie? Like, I just recently got into them. That's what I thought. I didn't told her that, but I was like, I kind of want wanna go too, but it just like she said that it was like sold out and it was just like the one day, nothing else. So I was like, okay, then nothing. That movie was actually This Is Us. Yeah, I have it with me. It was actually one of the first things that I've got because I was so intrigued to watch it. So I actually got it on CD, or DVD, you can say. So that was I was kind of intrigued. So I think I watched the trailer at home and started to get more into them and started more into them. And that was really like the first thing that happened when I got the book. I think this is the book that I ordered. I still had it. It still looked like absolutely new, and you know, there are so many pages and it's so intriguing because you know there's like these pictures and everything. So I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting and everything. I read it and I actually liked it. I got more and more into them, and in the future I've got even more books. So I actually got 4 books, and I think 3 of them like not official. This Harry book is not like official, and this book 100% not as well, but you know, it's just something like that. And this is the official book, Who We Are, and I think I read a little bit of it. I don't think I read all of it. So maybe one day I'm gonna read it, but this is the official book that I actually got, and it's translated. So it's all in Czech, by the way, because I had no idea of English. What was that? So with the books, I actually got into more them and everything. And I also remember watching my first music video that was like published. Like at the time it was fresh, it was new, and it was actually Story of My Life, which I remember crying at this particular scene. And since I was new and getting more and more into them, I was kind of sad about it, of course, you know, it was really sad. So I have a lot of memories when it comes to 1D. It's kind of crazy. Like at the same time I have so many memories, at the same time I have so little, because at the time I was kind of teenager-ish. That was like the time that it was for me. Especially I would say the most memorable era for me was the Midnight Memories era, because it was my first time experiencing the releasing album. And especially during this era, I would say it was really interesting because it was the 1D Day. And if you don't know anything about 1D Day, it was a live stream from LA for 7 hours, I think. And I was just like, because next day I had to woke up at 4 a.m. and the 1D Day started like 9 p.m. for me or something like that, because, or maybe later, I don't remember that much. I remember the day I went to the cinema with my friends to see the second Hunger Games, and I came home and I was like, okay, we got 1D Day and I 100% need to watch it, like 100%, no way I'm not gonna watch it. At least I was just like, okay, I'm gonna watch it for like 2 or 3 hours and then I'm gonna go and sleep, because I need to sleep at least a little bit of hours. I started to watch it and I loved it so much, like I didn't want it to stop. There were so many things, it was just new stuff happening and everything, and it was just so cool to watch it. And because the boys were like changing who they're going with, because for 1 hour there was like 2 of the boys who were like commentating and doing the stuff. So I was like, who's gonna be next? What's gonna happen now? And I was so tired, and at the same time I didn't want to sleep at all. So basically what happened, because of this, that was my first time that I was up all night, which is kind of ironic, to be honest. You know what I'm talking about. And it absolutely destroyed me. It absolutely destroyed me, because the reason why I needed to wake up early was because there was a competition day, and you know, you getting the hair done, which My mom used to do it for me, but it took like 2 hours to do makeup, to do the hair and everything, and it's such a complex way to do the hair. Like seriously, it was so hard, so it took such a long time. I did Latin American and ballroom dancing, which is you dance with a partner. Honestly, because of me that time, I ruined it basically, the competition. I just kind of like woke up I got the energy like at the end of the competition, and we didn't get the great scores because of me, but at the same time it's funny because at the last dance that I finally woke up, we got the best grades. Which is so actually funny. Maybe I can like find it somewhere, I don't know, I'm kind of intrigued to find it. Also around that time, like the Midnight Memories era, there was another thing that happened to me that was absolutely crazy, and it just got me something I did not expect of getting. So basically I was getting like big teeth surgery, and I knew it's gonna be such a big thing and everything, and I needed to pull out 2 like full grown teeth, which if you don't know, it's very complicated to do, like when you have like your own teeth now that you got forever, not the milk. How do you say that the first teeth, like we call them something like milk teeth? It's just complicated, don't think about it. Anyway, so it's very hard to get your teeth done, like pulled out, and especially when you get 2 at the same time, and I almost fade out. But that was the first part. Then comes the second part, and it was much more painful and longer and everything. So my mom told me that she will get me an album for it, which I was like, oh, what? I'm gonna get album, they're so expensive and it's just so cool, and which one do I get and everything. So she's like, don't you want that, and something like that. So after the surgery was done, I've actually got the album, which was this one. It's the Midnight Memories Deluxe, and this was actually first ever album that I've got, which is kind of crazy. It still like looks very new, and it's 10 years since I have this album, and it looks literally like I've had it for like 5 minutes. Like when you look at it, it looks like new, like it actually does, and it's kind of crazy how it does look like that. So this was my first ever album that I've actually got, and like this is my favorite one, the album for now, I would say. Maybe my taste like got a little bit different through the years, but I remember those songs because I used to listen to them so much, very vividly. So, but I'm a different person right now. Also, there is one more story. During Christmas, I think it was the same year, we used to do like a little bit sitting down for one day before Christmas at school with my classmates and our teacher and everything, and we used to do like a little bit party, not like too much party, but we didn't get like any teaching, so we got like presents for us if we could get, and just like snacks and drinks. And there was one classmate who was like a little bit trouble for me for many years, and I was like, I was very upset with him. He was like apologizing to me that he was so bad to me all those years, and he was like, can you please forgive me? I was like, no way. And I was always like I was kind of naive person then time. I was very vulnerable. It's a very long story, we can talk about it later, but I was like, you know what, I said to him jokingly, you know what, I'm gonna forgive you if you're gonna get me an album. If you're gonna give me an album, one the album, I'm gonna forgive you, you know. And it was like, which one? And I said, Take Me Home, because I didn't hit that one. It was like the only one that I didn't head, and he was like, okay. I was like, wait a minute. And you know what? He actually got me the album. He actually did, which is so crazy because at 15 years old, you get someone an album, which is unbelievable to me because it's actually kind of expensive for like teenagers who has just like allowance and that's it. So he actually got me Take Me Home album, which is like, I was like, what? Are you crazy? I didn't mean it. But I was so happy. But thanks. Anyway, if you were ever gonna watch this, I still have it. So yeah, so around the time I've got the Up All Night album as well. I had no idea of the differences of the deluxe albums and everything, so I got a regular album like Up All Night and Take Me Home since I got it at the present. I didn't want like more expensive to be for them, so around the time I had no idea. I realized it afterwards. So in 2014, this was all 2013 by the way, just for you to understand. In 2014, I've actually got to see them live on Where Are We tour, and I'm gonna talk about all of the experience in the next video, and I just thought it was kind of it needed to have its own video. So the next era was the 4 era, and I have just a little bit memories from this era. I would say the first thing was the Fireproof, because it 100% had to like start with there, because Fireproof was a track that was pre-released and it was actually free. You can get the track for free, which was so cool, and I was like, I'm not sure if I like love this song, but I liked it. And I remember listening to it a lot when I was going to school by bus, and I was just listening to it so much. So I was so excited for the album. This was actually first time that I pre-ordered an album. This was the first time that I actually got the right album by myself. So this is the Ultimate Edition, and it's all the bonus tracks and everything. And again, this looks like new. I absolutely love this, and I used to listen to those CDs a lot actually. I absolutely adored Steal My Girl. I don't know why I love that song so much, but I absolutely love that song. Just a little snippet before we're gonna go into the albums. Yeah, that's like everything I really do remember about that era very vividly. But next big thing for me or us as directioners was Zayn Was Leaving, which was such a big thing, of course. And I remember them getting, this information out, and I still remember in what I was doing, which feelings I had, what I was doing and everything. So basically around the time I was at my grandpa's because he was helping me with my German that I was learning in high school. And when I was leaving, because he was like, no phones, you can't focus when you have phones, so no. So when we were leaving, I just decided to go on my phone and go on Facebook, and here was the message, and I was reading it and everything. I was getting so emotional, and I just held it in myself, and I was like, I can't look like a weird person because this is happening. So I hold it till I arrived home. And since I remember I was home alone, I was devastated basically. I cried so much. I felt like everything fell apart. Like, it was unbelievable. And I started to watch the old music videos. I watched This Is Us again, and other DVDs that I had around the time. So I also had the Up All Night DVD, and I got the Sun Zero. So I watched all of those, and I was like, all those memories and everything, and I was so sad. And I've actually posted on my Instagram a message, and I'm gonna read it to you guys because I don't remember what I've actually wrote down. It was very raw to me, and I've done this a couple times after, which is kind of crazy. So this is I'm gonna screenshot it and show you guys. So basically this is me when I was watching This Is Us, and I've taken a photo and I wrote a lot of luck, saying in life I always will support you, always, with a lot of hearts. And 2 days after, I've actually painted my nails, and I put, literally I wrote down on my nails each letter of Zayn Malik, and I was actually very proud of myself. I remember it so much. So I wrote, my nails, love you, Zayn. So this was like my emotions about it and everything. I was really down with that, and it was just crazy. And around the time Pillow Talk was released with Zayn's album, which I also have, Mind of Mine, and we're gonna talk about more about this album after, when I'm gonna do the album reaction. I was actually obsessed with Pillow Talk. I really liked it. The music video, I was very surprised. Like, of course, it was very different. And then it was the Made in DM era, and what is more important was in summer 2015 I've actually became a Larry stan, and very passionate Larry stan, like very. I didn't believe that, but after watching many videos I actually noticed some weird things, I would say, and I started to becoming a Larry stan. I've actually collected a little bit data, I would say. Basically around the time it was the Vine era, if you remember Vine and everything. There was like little videos that were made before TikTok. Guys used to be very productive and everything and made like these short videos, and I still have them. I have so many of them. I will show you a couple of those, and I have also a couple of Larry. In my ear talking about, I got what you came for.
Nice catch, Percy. Bananas.
Banana. Stuart? Banana. Banana. Potato.
I'll ask you guys about the rainbow bear.
Oh shit!
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
So now is the Drag Me Down time and the Made in the Air era. So this is the time that we knew that the boys were having a break. Just break, hiatus, which was like getting us ready for this time. And I remember when Drag Me Down was released. First of all, it's a very good music video. I like it a lot, actually. I still do. By the way, I forgot. I've got. Just gonna do it again. Just a little bit of break, guys. Okay. Where were we? Drag Me Down. I really liked the song a lot, and to be honest, sometimes some of the members couldn't get much lines as I wanted to, especially at the beginning of their music career, like with Up All Night and Take Me Home albums. That's what I kind of mean. So it was like when Zayn was gone, other members like getting more lines. It was like kind of bittersweet. I remember streaming this music video a lot. Like I was like watching the music video all the time because this is the time I was actually starting at Twitter and I had no idea what is going on, what's all the calls they were having, and you know, let's guys do it, you know, we can break the record, we can do this and that and that. I was no idea what they actually meant. And I remember like, guys, we can do 20 million views in 24 hours for Drag Me Down, and I was like, okay, let's do this. I had no idea how long or what is going on, how the statistics of this is, and I was like, yes, do it. And it was so unbelievably slow. I remember that so much. Like, it was not going up at all. And at the same time, we were like going out, and I was like, I need to know the numbers. How are we doing? Are we going great? Is it okay? Is it going faster? Is it going slower? And we didn't break the record. That's what I remember. It was like 16 million in 24 hours or something like that. Then we have the Made in the Amp. I remember. And I actually love the system that the songs were being released. Like they released like once per week or twice. I don't remember that much. But I remember at the time I was doing like something like when you go to prom, you are having like the dance and everything. We were something like that, but it was not the prom. It was something 2 years before I graduated, and it's like tradition here. You like going dancing. But since I was dancing, this was something that I've learned when I was like 6, 7, and those 16, 17, 18-year-old couldn't get it at all, which was like, since some of the ex-classmates, they were going through the first school that I was going the 9 years, they were kind of like making fun of me for doing this. Now I made fun of them because I told them like, this is something I learned when I was 7 and you don't get this. Like, this was such a epic moment for me. Like, it was so cool. Anyway, when I was coming from these dances at home, the songs were being released, and I came home. I was so excited. What's the new song that's being released today? And I straight listened to those songs, and I was like, this is so amazing. Honestly, those songs were really good. I don't know which one of those were released in time, but I still remember the songs from Made in the AM, and those were actually very great. I also remember it was said down that the last performance they're gonna do together was the X Factor of 2015, the final, and I remember crying so much. Like, it was such a crazy epic moment, and it was very emotional that time. So 2016, I would say it was, for me, it was very boring year, and it was unbelievably long as their fan, because no one is getting any interviews or anything was happening, nothing, no songs. And I think the only song that was released that year was This Town. I remember it was like the first song that was released, and I was so excited that it was Niall and everything, because if you didn't know, Niall was my favorite one actually, so I was so happy for him, honestly. I remember that happening, and honestly, I don't think anything else was happening. Maybe Dunkirk, but I'm not sure if it was 16 or 17. That was all of I remember. At that time, I started to kind of get into gaming, which is not a time that we're gonna talk about this. Again, I'm just gonna let it teaser. I need to like poke it, you know, poke it. So I remember another thing was Just Hold On. It was I remember this song is such an amazing song, and the support that we got from the boys, it was unbelievable, and I 100% think that he deserves it for this song, because it was for his mom who just passed away, and it's just crazy how much was happening for him, and it's still happening. He lost so much, and he's still going. He's such an inspirational person, to be honest. honest, like for real. And then the Harry first album was released, which is like the last album that I've got as the solo act. And here I actually forgot to show you. This is the Maybe the AM album that I got. Again, this is the deluxe. And actually, I even got couple singles, which is kind of unbelievable to me to say, but I've got the Still My Girl single, which as I said, I really loved, so I got that. Then I got the Drag Me Down, which I absolutely love this photo. I don't know why, it's nothing too special about this. And then I've got the Perfect. For one of the reasons is that it got Home, which is a song that was never before published. This was like only way to get this song, and they got it like published when it was on their 10th anniversary, I think. But it was the only way to listen to this song through this. And I actually also got the Nile first album, Flickers, and I remember liking like only one song, to see him live with Maren Morris. I don't know, I didn't heard it that much. I didn't listen to those songs that much. Maybe it would like change it. We'll see. We're gonna listen to all those albums. I seriously don't know much of their solo careers that much. I've heard like just those albums that I own and couple songs more, not that much, like just a teeny bitty and nothing more, honestly. So we're gonna check them out together, guys. So anyways, this is all of it. It took me more longer than I thought it's gonna take. I thought of doing like 2 parts of this, but I thought that it might be probably right to get it into one video. So I decided to get the Midnight Memories picture to put into our background. So I'm gonna put it here. Is it okay? I think it looks okay. So we have another artist to talk about, which is so excited. And next time we're gonna talk about the experience that I've had at the 1D concert that I was attending in 2014. This is even before Zayn left. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed yourself, guys, and we're gonna see each other in the next video. So bye. By the way, before we're gonna go, I forgot to talk about one more thing. Since I was a Larry stan, my friend called Ellie, she actually was a 1D stan as well, and she was actually very talented, and I asked her, since I was Larry stan, by the way she was not, if she can draw me a picture of Larry that I really liked, and she actually did. This is what she made for me, and this is actually like her. This is not even copied, this is like a real thing. You can see it maybe, and you can see that this is actually like been done, and I actually think she did a great job. She did this when she was like 17 or something like that. So yeah, this is shout out to you, girl. Thank you for, I still have it, and thank you for doing it for me. I still have one more, but it's in a future episode that we're gonna talk about. So this is actually it. I forgot to talk about it, and now that's it. Thank you again so much for watching, and see you next time.